Well, that's me just finished work for the day. Been doing some walling behind me. It's lambing, well, it's weaning time, so what we've been doing is separating the mothers and the lambs. And what happens is that the mothers try and find their lambs on the farm, so they tend to break a few walls in the process. Absolutely beautiful day today. The plan is for me to essentially go and collect the bees and see if we've got any honey. The rainbows in the sky to show God's promise for honey? No? Don't think that's quite the song. Almost all the way up. Glorious sunset. Tim's made it. You knackered, Tim? You knackered? Well, this is me arrived. I don't see much bee activity, but we'll block the entrance and then open the top and have a look in through the glass in a minute. Just in time, not been rained on yet, but it is getting dark. And this road is sketchy, there's random ditches everywhere. You can see there's a bit of heather left, but really you probably should have taken them about 7 days ago. You know, this has gone over, so they probably are eating it faster than they collect it for the last wee while, unfortunately. So we'll probably have less honey than what we would have if we collected it sort of a week ago. But you never know how these things go. It's not an exact rocket science. Well, that's me done. I've got them loaded onto the quad bike. I had to think a little bit about what I was going to do, and basically I almost got stuck a couple of times here on the quad bike, so I decided pulling a trailer and carrying a hive would just be too risky. If I get stuck, it's actually a 2-mile walk back to the car, in which point it would be dark by the time I got to the car, so not very wise. So I'm just going to take it on the bike. I've got 15 minutes of sunlight left, so hopefully I can get to the car. And by that time, it does mean that I've got no trailer to take the hive home, which means the hive will be in the car with me. Hey Tim! Just recently found this lamb away up here, which is great. It's not very well, so perhaps we saved his life, lammy. Good night, cows. Good. Just makes them want to, more aggressive, more aware. So he's just smoking some guard bees in there. Right, now let's get this colony ready for winter. Whenever you're lifting something like this, just give a little puff of smoke under it, like that. Now it's free. And there's the bees there. A cluster of bees. Now just give a puff of smoke. And all that does is just point the bees away. Cool, now they're down there. All I'm going to do, open this fondant up. That's just going to go on top there like that. Now that is this colony done. Nice and simple. I can check on them in the winter, and really they won't actually eat that fondant unless they're struggling. So if that goes down, I know I need to feed them. Very simple, very easy. Move on to the next hive. So I just changed the entrance in these guys. Job done. the entrance. Alright, let's get this job done. Let's be opening the... So, whenever you take a crown board off, whenever you open, instantly give that puff of smoke. Just in there. Ah, okay. I'm wrong here. There's another thing to take off. There's another frame feeder here. Just see what we've got there. No bees, no nothing. So just, again, for removing this, you just want to give a quick puff of smoke in there. Quick puff of smoke. Remove this. And just again, turn all these bees. So, removing the crown board here. Quick puff of smoke. Just to remove these bees. So far so good. I'm checking the crown board there for the queen. There's not a queen, right? So I'm turning these bees around. They're looking at me. Right, so what I want to do is just remove this. See, defensive, but it's a cold day. They won't like this. Turn those bees down. Now all I want to do is pop that empty frame in the gap. There. Get them turned around. Get this fondant quickly on. And again. Close off. Weed. Do a little bit of weeding while we're here. Close off. Now, there's obviously not going to be any bees up here. I'm going to steal some of these pins. She gets killed actually because, you know, she gets cold and dies. That's that. The hive done. Happy. Moving on to the final hive. Take this is the lid that's going to go back on. Pop that down the side there. Now what I'm going to do is I'm going to remove this top thing, but there's no gap in between, so when I take it off I need to give a good smoke whilst I'm doing that. There we go. Down with a quick smoke. Good. Take out this frame feeder. So bees don't like fast movements, especially this hive. So just go nice and slow. Done. And that, these guys done, ready for winter. Job done. Essentially, let's do a little bit of how we've ended the beekeeping year 2017. So this is a split, and we saw when we opened there were about 6 frames, but actually they were already just on 4 frames of honey. These guys have plenty of stores and should be fine throughout the winter. Over here, this is where the split was taken from. Actually, I think it was about June. Jammy enough, when I took the split, I ended up with a queen straight away. There must have been 2 queens in this hive. So that's why the split did really well. I ended up with basically a queen in each. I managed, not only was there 2 queens, but I managed, when I took the split, I did a blind split, which is when you just take, basically you separate the hive in half, and theoretically one half should have a queen, one half won't have a queen. and when I did this, both halves had a queen. So very, very jammy. So another split that I did, they failed to make a queen, and what I did eventually is actually just merge them with a queen that I had found in Edinburgh. I was wearing a kilt and in the city centre of Edinburgh, and just decided to go for it and collect this swarm that was in a bush. Except they were tiny, so basically that gave me the queen for this hive. And here you go. Here's one of my favourite hives. This is the colony of black bees, or blacker bees. Can't prove that they are black bees without getting a genetic test. But you know, certainly these guys behave like more like the native bee. Very, very happy with how I've ended up with four hives, 4.5 hives maybe. This is probably just a little nuke, essentially. So yeah, very happy with how I've ended up in the bee yard. Time to pack up and call it a day till January.
That's gonna be a lot battle.
A lot of snow.
Yeah. We can do outside and we can do out the toe.
Look at all that snow.
We will do that. Come on, Mum. Get high bits that have snow on.
Okay, you start off.
You talk now.
You got a carrot, Gideon.
Yeah. I wanted to. You build a snowman. You build a snowman.
Time to